Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see trouble. Man, I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy. Oh, now baby, you get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy. Please get busy. Man, I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy.
Hello and welcome inside Leominster TV Studio A. This is 20 games for 20 years. I'm Todd Robbins. The 2018 season represents the 20th year of Leominster High School athletics being broadcast consistently to a television audience, initially through Cablevision Channel 36, which was transmitted from the Media Center at Leominster High, beginning with the football season in 1999. Channel 36 would eventually join Channel 29 and a host of other numerals in what has since 2001 been known as Leominster Access Television, or today's Leominster TV. Much like I myself have aged since first taking the play-by-play mic as a 14-year-old freshman in 1999, so too has the personnel, technology, and even the branding of our broadcast coverage. From LHS TV 36 to BDSN, the Blue Devil Sports Network, or Blue Devil Sports Night, to LATV's Action Sports, to LHS Football on Leominster TV. No matter what we've called it, our mission has been the same. Serve our community by bringing top quality coverage of Leominster High School athletics into viewers' homes, especially those populations that so desperately want to take part and for one reason or another cannot make it to the game. Perhaps it's to celebrate with the players, parents, coaches, fans, and boosters of the blue and white, so they can relive it all throughout their careers and now for so many in the years that have followed, as their kids, grandkids, and great-grandchildren become part of the tapestry that is this community's historic athletic tradition. They can use this coverage to weave their and our shared history together. Over the next 20 episodes, we will celebrate our 20 seasons of television coverage by breathing new life into the games that live in our archives, beginning as it did 20 years ago with LHS football. As through the magic of digital technology, we bring you 20 games for 20 years. It is in that spirit that we bring you this game from Doyle Field in the year 2015. Labeled with the brand of our partnership with WPKZ AM 1280 and 105.3 FM, shot direct to digital by our director and videographer Bradley Bedard, and preserved in our archive. Remastered by our archivist Jack Selly, we bring you this game with the original play-by-play call of our current broadcast team of Bill Thomas, Kate Meyer-Robbins, and myself. 20 Games for 20 Years presents this matchup from 2015. The Blue Devils against the Mountaineers of Wachusett Regional High School.
Onto the ball, especially with Wachusett being rush heavy and rush dependent, and that's really, I think, where the difference is going to be made.
No question about it, and Kate, we've certainly seen those numbers bear it out. 50-50 tends to be the split in Coach Palazzi's offense. Coach Dubzinski, on the other hand, for the Mountaineers, they certainly tend to keep the ball on the ground. They are going to run the ball, and you would think weather conditions like this would certainly play to their advantage.
I think what Coach talked about in his coach's corner was absolutely accurate, as he always is.
Absolutely.
I would never say that he's not. But turnovers are going to be key tonight, and it's going to be I really do think it's going to be a game of who makes the least amount of mistakes, who can protect that football the best, and if you can protect the pigskin, I think that you're going to come away victorious. And to be candid with you, I know that a lot of people talk about weather being the great equalizer, but you know, if you can go out there and you can maintain your composure and you can effectively execute your game plan, then I think that the weather, regardless, it's going to bode in your favor.
No question about it. And of course, the D2 standings here, everyone is bunched up at the top. Neshoba and Leominster, the last two of the unbeatens, 3-0 coming into tonight's action. Then you've got that pack in the middle there at 2-1, Marlborough, St. John's, Wachusett. And then the next pack down, Shrewsbury, Algonquin, Westboro, North Middlesex all at 1 and 2. Fitchburg, the lone team at 0 and 3 coming into this week 4 of action.
I must say that seeing these records makes me a little bit nervous. I know it's still early on in the season, but seeing all those teams bunched up in the top 5 there right now, Wachusett, if we started the playoffs, would be out. And right now they have a phenomenal, well, not a phenomenal record. It's 2-1, but I get nervous with this new playoff format. What it's going to look like in just a few weeks' time. I mean, we're already over halfway through the regular season after tonight, so I'm a little bit nervous with the new format, but we'll see how it goes.
And how often, by the way, at this juncture of the season, Bill Thomas, do you hear pregame in a regular season matchup 2 head coaches even discussing the playoffs, which tells you how significant this situation is when they're looking across and going, well, you know what, if we end up, half a point below somebody else because of a loss here or there, you're in bad shape. You're out. You are out. That Fitchburg 7th team coming up, beating 3-2-1 on your way to the state playoffs is gone. It's moot. Top 4 teams are going to make it into the MIAA playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think people really have grasped the effect that cutting the playoff teams in half are going to have in the regular, how it's going to affect the regular season and the way teams are going to approach us. It's all about the rating points, the MIAA system of wins and losses and strength of opponents and what they do. So it could come down. That could be the tiebreaker with teams, multiple teams having the same record. We went into the 6th week of the season, I think, with 3 teams that didn't have any wins last year, and we were wondering if an OFA team that had good rating points was going to make the playoffs. And fortunately, that didn't happen. But everybody except for Fitchburg has a win, so that's something the MIA definitely does not have to worry about this year.
I don't think there's any question about that, Bill. And when I look at the way this group may shake out, I think Coach Palazzi is right on it. That 5th team and that 6th team are going to have a heck of an argument that they should have been in the playoffs under this format. But again, the MIA at least trying to unify the way the state is at least assembled a little bit is now Central and Western Mass will align exactly the same way. 2 8-week regular seasons in Central and West, and then the top 4 teams each make it into those playoffs. Of course, in Eastern Mass, they're still doing their own thing, which tends to be half the problem with the MIAA, is that there's no uniformity. But
I know we are going to be talking about it, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Howie Kahn will also be talking about it on the Scholastic Sports Zone. Round out your week in high school athletics on Sundays on the K-Zone, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. It's the Scholastic Sports Zone with Howie Kahn, 11 a.m. till noon. They have all the big games in Central Massachusetts high school sports, headlined by their Athlete and Coach of the Week in studio every Sunday. That's the Scholastic Sports Zone, back home in the K-Zone, WPKZ, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. And, of course, this week you can look forward to Kate and I joining Howie Kahn on this Sunday.
Just as a guest.
As we guest in
Just as guest.
With Howie this week. Just in for a visit as we
visiting.
So we'll be visiting this week as well with Howie in studio down at the K-Zone Studios, where Bennett Carroll, by the way, is at Master Control with Ethan Winter as well, and we thank them for their hard work. And we also can now welcome in our viewers at Leominster TV joining us as well tonight. Hope you are enjoying us wherever you are, hopefully in replay, because that means you came out to Doyle Field and you were here for the action tonight where, although it's a little bit damp, the spirits are high, and we have a seat for you somewhere nearby our press box location.
Bring your umbrella. The place is filling up fast.
That's right, and it's time now for our coin toss, and it's brought to you by Woodcomb Insurance. You can call them at 978-840-8700 or find Woodcomb Insurance on the web at woodcomb.com. Captains meeting at midfield. Bill Goslin, our white hat and crew chief tonight for the officials. Dave Douglas will be the umpire as well. So certainly an experienced crew, part of the Thanksgiving Twin City crew as well. And Bill Thomas, by the way, it is also, we have begun Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, in October. And Kate, Billy, and I don in pink, as are the players out on the field as well in different spots. A lot of pink socks, pink wristbands, pink gloves out there. And joining our friends in the National Football League.
A little bit of confusion on the coin toss.
Yes, indeed. And in raising awareness for breast cancer research. Blue Devils have won the toss, elected to receive. The Mountaineers will defend the goal to our left, or Leominster TV right, as we get set for action. Pre-game festivities are over. It is time now to open the home slate. Blue Devils and Mountaineers, kickoff is next. You're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ. bonus coverage, by the way, for our viewers on LATV. I fall asleep on this every time. We've got the national anthem from the LHS band coming up as well, and yes, we are set for action here at Doyle Field. The Leominster High School marching band under the direction of Barry Hudson. And back inside historic Doyle Field, it is time for the Blue Devils and the Mountaineers. Leominster comes in with a 3-0 record. Wachusett Regionals Mountaineers a record of 2-1, and it's time to open, Bill Thomas, the home season here at Doyle Field.
And I can't wait. We're about ready for kickoff. Troy Hebert Construction, for a quarter century, a name you can trust for new construction, renovation, and repairs. Call 508-328-7484 or visit Troy Hebert on the web at troyhebertconstruction.com. Players are taking the field, and now with the call of the game, the voice of the Blue Devils, Todd Robbins.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so much, and we are ready for action. I feel like it has been 4 weeks in the making to get to this point and open this home slate here at Doyle Field, but thankfully, you always can come home, and it is time to be home here at historic Doyle Field as we open the month of October and we open the home slate here at Doyle Field. Rainy, wet conditions. We'll have a time and temperature coming up for you just after our opening kickoff. Peter Baird will do the kicking for the Mountaineers. Remember from years past, Baird is one of their linemen. He'll get the start on the line tonight. He's a good-sized kid, almost 6 feet tall, built very broadly, very big up top, but you know what? He kicks in his spare time, and he's got the ball on the tee. 40-yard line at our left on the K-zone and or on your right on Leominster.tv, and Baird's kick is away, and end over end it goes. It will hop at the Blue Devil 22-yard line, and it'll be picked up flat-footed on the return by Keith Jackson. Jackson jumps into the pile, and it pushes forward across the 25-yard line to the 27, and Leominster sets up shot. First down and 10, their own 27-yard line going right to left on WPKZ and or left to right for those of you watching on Leominster.tv.
And just as we start the game, it looks like the rain's let up a little bit. We'll have to see if Blue Devils come out with their normal 50-50 attack here, and I expect them to come out throwing, Todd.
I don't think the rain has calmed down at all.
I'm trying
I'm
trying to encourage some people to come out.
Come on out to Doyle Field. We are all about promotion here. First down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Gray in a shotgun, 3 receivers spread. Snap and the delayed give went to the running back. It appeared to be Colina. He was swallowed up almost immediately after a gain of 1, and it'll be second down and 9.
It was Angel Colina, and running out of that shotgun, you know, we've seen Noah Gray up on the center a little more than we expected, but you never know what they're going to do out of any offensive set that Coach Palazzi has them out there in.
And that's one of the difficult jobs if you are an opponent trying to scheme against the Blue Devils offense. You never quite know what they're going to be week to week. Second down and 9 from the Blue Devil 28. Shotgun formation. Actually, it's a modified pistol as Colina is straight back behind Gray. Dandini next to him on the right side. Here's the snap. Little counter motion, fake. Swing pass completed out of the backfield in the hands of Colina. Turns the right corner and upfield across the 30 to the 35 and down around the 33-yard line. Quite near a Blue Devil first down. And it is a Blue Devil first down, says referee Bill Goslin.
Officially a pickup of 9 on that play.
Nice little swing pass out of the backfield there. Almost looked like a lateral. Hard to tell there, but very effective.
Yes, indeed. Time and temperature coming up after this play. First down and 10 for the Blue Devils at their own 33-yard line, going right to left here in quarter number 1 on the K-zone, left to right for those of you on Lemonster.TV. Shotgun with Colina in the backfield, trips to the open side left, and the snap. They put it in the hands of Colina again on first down, and Colina stumbles forward for maybe a gain of a yard. It'll bring up another second down and 9. Time and temperature brought to you by Il Forno. Il Forno in Italian means the oven, and that's where it all starts, at Il Forno restaurants of Fitchburg and West Boylston. The wood-fired brick oven is where an assortment of delicious northern Italian specialties are handcrafted. Every meal made to order on Airport Road in Fitchburg and Route 12 in West Boylston. Il Forno, where the oven rules. 50 degrees in a light rain, 7:07 on a Friday night here at historic Doyle Field on week 4 of action. And it's a second down and 9, straight back eye with Dandini and Colina dotting. Gray under center in the snap. He puts it in the hands of Colina, head of steam. Through the A-gap he goes across the 40-yard line, taken down at the 42. Gain of 4, third down and 5.
You know, surprisingly enough, pretty much everything on the ground. 4 rushes and 1 pass. We're going to get that balance up there, 50-50, and big third down play right here.
I thought that meant yummy in Italian from that last read.
Oh, really?
I've decided.
If you've been to El Forno, it definitely fits.
I've decided. It means yummy.
Yummy, and you get a second meal when you get home because they definitely give you plenty.
Third down and 5, ball at the 43-yard line of the Blue Devils. And whistles kill the play, and Coach Palazzi is going to take a quick 30-second timeout, stopping the clock with 8:15 to play here in quarter number 1. Just underway, first possession of the game, Leominster and Wachusett. No score here from historic Doyle Field. And Kate, it's time now for our new segment here in the early going, and it's our hard-working player spotlight, and it's brought to you by Workers Credit Union. Workers Credit Union's home of the $3 million Give Back program. The more you bank, the more you get back. Check them out on the web at WCU.com. Workers Credit Union, doing what's right for you. Kate, our hardworking player spotlight?
So far right now, it's Angel Colina.
Yes, it is. It is most definitely Angel Colina.
Thought it was interesting. The side judge here was part of that little conference looking at the play sheet of Coach Palazzi.
Hey, if
there's
you're
a
in the
lot to
neighborhood,
look at.
no question about it. Third down and 5,
boy.
and problems at the snap. Flags kill the play. The slot receiver to Gray's left in the gun was Keith Jackson, and he got a head start, and that's a false start. He's heard the starter pistol go off twice. 5 yards back we go, and it'll be third down and 10, back across the Blue Devil 40 to the 38-yard line.
And you think the play was going to him, Todd? That's all he was thinking about is, I'm going to catch this ball.
Yep, I would say that would be true.
I think the play was going
He
to
got
him.
more than a little bit of head start.
Yes, he did.
He was well in the backfield.
Got a full head of steam, no
Holy
question about
moly.
it. Shotgun spread again on third down and 10. Blue Devils need to move the ball to their own 48-yard line for a first down. 4 receivers spread, man shifting in motion is Allen Link from right to left. The snap and the rollout on the run, throw a little high through the hands of Angel Began and almost intercepted by Blake Reeves. Defensive back downfield had his shot at it. And the Blue Devils got something going on the first set of downs, but on the second set, costly penalty, and then a missed opportunity there brings up fourth down and 10.
Noah Gray throwing on the run there. Looked like the ball just got away from him, and a little high for the receiver to corral. This is not the kind of night that you want to be catching the ball hands only. You got to use your body to corral it and secure it.
Fourth down, 10 to go. Dandini in punt formation stands at his own 25-yard line. Good snap on this wet night, and Dandini puts a good foot, a wobbler into it. It will be fielded on the run, then immediately dropping down there. Ryan McCarthy on the return. Crosses the 35-yard line and down at the Mountaineer 38, where it'll be first down and 10 for the Mountaineers on their first offensive drive.
Dylan Nadeau in on the tackle, special teams tackle, quickly downfield. Looked like that was going to be fair caught there, but surprisingly enough, the receiver there for the punt decided to take a chance with it. Good job by Nadeau to bring him down. Seeing this bunched in tight, Todd, on this first possession here for the Mountaineers.
Yes, it is. First down and 10 Mountaineers, their own 38, going left to right on the K-zone, right to left. For those of you on Leominster TV, and the handoff to the first man through the gap was Zach Boltrazik. Boltrazik, one of those backs in that wing-back formation. Lost a couple of yards on the play. Nice job by the Blue Devil defense to get in the backfield and stop that for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12.
Looked like Antonio Centrafanti in there leading the charge for the Blue Devils defense.
Mountaineers wearing the road white tops, trimmed in black and evergreen. The evergreen W's on either side of the Mountaineers helmets with the evergreen numerals front and back. Blue Devils wearing the home blues top and bottom for the first time, trimmed in white numerals front and back, the standard white helmets with the single royal blue stripe. 2nd down and 12, and the snap and handoff for Boltrazik again. Bounces it out to the right side and taken down around the 40-yard line. Gain back what was lost and a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 40-yard line.
That's a beautiful job by the defensive team of the Blue Devils, trying to keep them inside the tackles, and that's exactly what they did against Shepherd Hill. And I think that if they can contain the Wachusett Mountaineer rush, they're not going to be able to go outside. They're going to have to stick in between those tackles, and I think that bodes well for the Blue Devils.
Well, if Angel Kalina keeps making plays like that, they're not going to go anywhere.
Split back in the backfield. This was a direct snap, and down it goes. Down it goes in the backfield. And, of course, we've got a number out there.
Dylan Tanner.
Dylan Tanner made the hit.
Number 6.
Number 1 was who snapped the football, Bill Thomas. And
I don't know who snapped it, but
we don't have a number 1 for Wachusett.
Dylan Tanner is in the backfield along with the ball there. A loss of about 8 yards on that busted-up play. Great job by Dylan Tanner to read that.
Last couple of weeks, the Blue Devils defense has been doing a tremendous job. It's been masterful work with this kind of bend, don't break mentality, and they're really hitting their stride early on in this game. They look prepared, and they look very, very hungry out there.
On 4th down and 15 back at their own 30, Peter Baird stands at his own 15 to punt. Good snap and a beaut off of that right foot. It will be returned and muffed by Travis Storm. Takes his sweet time getting to it at the 26-yard line. Now picks it up and tries to do something with it around the 30 and gets gang tackled at the 29-yard line. And that was busted pretty much from the word go. Beautiful punt by Peter Baird and misplayed by Travis Storm on a wet night.
Yeah, Travis kind of let the ball play him there and then picked it up and looked around a little bit, gave the defense a chance to get downfield.
In his defense, though, like Coach said, they haven't been on this field in uniform in quite a long time. This is the first night game that they've had at Doyle Field, and of course it's a wet one. So you can kind of see being a little bit more tentative, trying to be, rather safe rather than sorry. But in this case, doesn't really help them out.
And I don't think they're expecting a 45-yard punt
no.
in this weather
They
either.
certainly were not. And it's a 1st down and 10 for the Blue Devils at their own 30. Single back, straight back behind Gray, and the sweet pitch for Storm. Reverse back to Began, to Gray for the reverse pass. Down the center of the field. Kyle Jackson is open. He comes back. He makes the catch. There's a flag down back by the line of scrimmage, but Kyle Jackson is deep on his game across the 5 and down at the 4-yard line. A 70-yard reverse toss pass for a huge play, and it's all for naught, and Travis Storm is gimping off the field. Looks like illegal participation against the Blue Devils. Coach Palazzi is incensed. Somebody was on the field that wasn't supposed to be there, or there was a late substitution. A beautiful play, totally a bust, and Travis Storm is over on the near sideline receiving medical treatment. Not good.
Yeah, it looked like 12 players on the field. I was just counting 11 were left on the field after Travis had hobbled off. Definitely the officials had it. Too many men on the field.
That is unfortunate and most definitely an unforced error, and you can understand Coach Palazzi being very upset about that situation.
And that was a situation where Blue Devils, I think, 3 handoffs and a pass there. Apparently the conditions are not going to affect the play calling at all tonight.
Here's the signal, an illegal man downfield, Bill Thomas. So it appears that somebody was ineligible downfield at the time the pass happened. And, of course, the amount of time a reverse toss pass takes, and now more flags kill the play, and this Blue Devil drive continues to go in the wrong direction.
I'm going to tell you what happened there. They had 13 men in the huddle, and 2 guys ran off when they broke the formation. Somebody was out there, 2 players were out there that didn't come off on time. And you can't huddle 13 players and then run to the sideline. I think that's what I saw there.
Only allowed to huddle up with 11 at any one point in time, and 13's more than just 1 over. That's 2 over, by the way.
If you're gonna violate a rule, you might as well take advantage of it.
I'd be happy to have my golf game at 2 over, but other than that, you can't have 2 over in the huddle.
Now we're at 1st and a country mile, 1st and 20 for the Blue Devils from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, back at their own 20 and going right to left on the K-zone, left to right on Leominster TV, and it's a pistol formation. Colina splits with Dandini and Gray in a gun. gun. Back to pass. Got some time. Steps up in the pocket. Now has to roll out to his right. Looking to throw across his body and is going to dump this one well out of bounds and incomplete. Action continues behind the play as a Blue Devil got kind of tied up on that one. 54 on that play is Antonio Centrafante. He got tied up with a Mountaineer late after the play, and they certainly are playing through the whistle, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, it looked like him and Josh Haddad had a little physical discussion there. As the
Call it an
play
altercation.
We'll call it
was,
a meet and
a
greet.
meeting, yeah.
A meet and greet. That's all it is.
I'll be talking to you later.
Yeah.
But
No
good job
doubt.
by Noah Gray there to throw the ball out of bounds and not take a loss on that play, too. Good heads-up play.
Here's Gray setting up a pistol formation. Dandini, the fullback, next to him. And now Colina steps up. It's a split back gun. Two receivers on the short side left. Back to pass on second down and long. Gray looking down the center of the field. And Kyle Jackson was double covered down the middle of the field. Good defense there. I saw Ryan McCarthy and Blake Reeves in that area going step for step with Kyle Jackson down the center of the field.
Yeah, they had him surrounded there, but Angel Began was flashing down the sideline here, and not sure Noah saw him. He had single coverage on him, but as soon as he went down the middle, that double coverage shifted to the center of the field.
Right now, the Blue Devils offense, aerial attack, Noah Gray, 1 of 4 in the air. That's only a 25% completion rate. He has 1 reception, 1 pass completed to Angel Colina for 9 yards.
Third down and 20, and a deep formation set up here as Gray walks to the line, directing traffic. He's got Colina next to him. Alan Link's going to set up, and more personnel problems, and Coach Palazzi's got to take another 30-second timeout, stopping the clock with 4:26 to play here in the first quarter, and no score. Leominster and Wachusett here in this first quarter of action, and this is the 4th week of the season, Bill Thomas, and just because you're playing a home game, nothing about substitutions and packages has changed playing on the road or at home, other than maybe they're getting confused. They're wearing blue tonight and not white.
So, uncharacteristic, this confusion here on the offensive sets and the player personnel, but the coach isn't afraid to take a timeout. If that's what he's got to do to straighten them out, he's going to burn all of them in the first quarter to get everybody on the same page.
That he will, and it's a shotgun set again for Gray with Colina. Trips on the open side right and one-on-one coverage with Keith Jackson on the left. Snap and back to pass on 3rd and long. Gray keeping the play alive. He's riffing here, looking downfield and gets run out of bounds. Coverage sack again. Gray couldn't find anybody, and he ran out of real estate out of bounds.
Yeah, Keith Jackson wide open at about the 40-yard line, cutting across the field, but the rush was forcing him to roll out there. I don't think he saw him, but he did have Keith Jackson cutting across the middle.
Coming right into your living room on Leominster TV as well. Great view down there on the sidelines tonight.
Well,
Dandini backpedaling toward his goal line. Bill Thomas to punt.
That drive went backwards fast.
Yeah, from one really great, awesome
Negative.
double reverse pass.
Negative 14 yards on that drive.
And amazing, that was a 70-yard pass that got negated in that process. Dandini punting from his own goal line, a low wobbler, hops around the Blue Devil 40, takes a big Blue Devil bounce though, cross midfield, and will be touched down by Keith Jackson at the Mountaineer 46-yard line, so not a great punt in the air, but a beautiful punt on the rollout. And the Mountaineers will have the football, first down and 10 at their own 46, going left to right.
Yeah, Blue Devils fortunate to have that ball roll across the 50. It looked like that was going to set the Mountaineers up in good field position there, but very nice roll, added about 15 yards to the end of that punt.
Right now, the field position game favors the Wachusett Mountaineers. They've started their 2 offensive drives on their own 38 and 46, respectively. Blue Devils have started their 2 offensive drives on their 27 and 30.
I'm assuming this is Ben Lucier wearing jersey number 1. He was listed as 12 in the information I received from Wachusett, but we'll assume it's Lucier. He snaps and hands it straight up the middle. It does. Into the pile goes the ball carrier. Looked like Matt Russell, the fullback, the center back in that, of course, wing back or 3-back formation you got there, and bringing it on forward. A gain of about 2 on the play. Second down and 8. Ball at the Mountaineer 49-yard line. Left to right on the K-zone, right to left for those of you joining us on Leominster TV tonight. Lucier barking out some orders to that split back formation behind him. He goes under center, shifts a man in motion. It's Cummings. Cummings checks off right to left. Sweet pitch for Boltrazik. Going laterally to the left. He's wrapped up by the defense and taken down. A nice backside pursuit there. Travis Storm back in the ball game after gimping off on that busted double reverse pass.
Not only gimping off, but gimping back to the huddle. He just turned it on, a shot of adrenaline there, and just broke through the blocker. And nice job there by Travis Storm.
And there's
he's definitely hobbled.
There's that containment that we've been seeing again. If they can keep that rush in between the tackles and really negate the outside edge, I really do think that the Blue Devils are doing a phenomenal job this week, and they did so against St. Peter Marion and Shepherd Hill.
3rd down and 8 to go. Mountaineers need to advance the football to the Blue Devil 44-yard line for a first down. Shotgun here for Lucier with the single back with him in the snap. Puts it in the hands of Josh Furtado. Furtado bounces it to the outside. He's got first down yardage and more across the Blue Devil 45 and down at the 40-yard line. That's a first down on a gain of 11. Nice job by Furtado. He broke containment on that left edge, and he was gone to the first down.
Yeah, Blue Devils had him over there on the sideline. Couldn't push him out. He kept the legs moving, fought through the first 2 tackles, and picked up an additional 7 or 8 yards there. He was going to get stopped short.
Blue Devils making some substitutions. 2:20 to play here in the first quarter. No score, Leominster and Wachusett. Low scoring, rainy night, Kate.
Right now, Wachusett Mountaineers game plan, no surprise here. They've run 6 offensive plays and they've had 6 rushes by 4 different people. And right now they just picked up their first down of the evening.
And a timeout taken on the field, taken by the Mountaineers, stopping the clock with 2:08 to play here in the first quarter. No score, Leominster and Wachusett. Good time to remind you that Leominster High School football on the K-Zone is brought to you by Jarvis Ford in Air, built on a reputation for their commitment to customer service for over 50 years. Whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, you've come to the right dealership. Satisfying hardworking people just like you. Find them at 5 Littleton Road Air or visit them online at drivejarvis.com.
Can I reiterate once again how happy I am to be back at Doyle Field?
It's just a certain comfort level.
It is nice to be home.
The Blue Devils are not taking advantage of it yet, but hopefully they'll come out of the little funk that they're in right now.
If they could feel this heat in the press box, they would. That's what I've
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
And these lovely chairs.
Without
I'm
question.
Spoiled, Ryan.
Well, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
And a big thank you, by the way, to the folks at the Doyle Field Commission and the Leominster DPW, led, of course, by Pat LaPointe, who I know spearheaded this little project for us, and hooking Bill, Kate, and I up with these fantastic captain's chairs, Bill. It's like being on the bridge of the Enterprise. We've got our own little kind of captain's thing going on down here. We're universally right now not exactly revered by our fellow mates here in the press box.
They actually had our names on them when I came into the press box.
And we appreciate it. The snap on first down is a fumble, and Lucier picks up that wet ball and falls forward across the 40 to the 41, or excuse me, the 39. That's a gain of a yard, believe it or not, on a busted play, and it'll be 2nd down and 9. The Blue Devil 39 for the Mountaineers.
Somehow 28, Dan Turgeon ended up with the ball there at the end of that play. But fortunate, and that's the first fumble, and Coach Palazzi talked about that. He recalled the game, 5 fumbles, and Wachusett got them all back. They're 1 for 1 so far tonight.
Bennett Carroll back at Master Control says Doyle, the final frontier.
That indeed, and I am most definitely a Trekkie geek.
Love it.
There's no question about it. 2nd down and 9. A fumbled football again, and the ball back down on the ground, and I believe the Mountaineers got back on top of it again, and looks like down at the bottom of the pile, 20 this time was in on top of that one. That's Blake Lewis who got on top of the loose football.
Trying to see, it looks like they got to change at quarterback, Todd. It looks like, is it 28 that's running the offense now?
Yeah, it's 28.
Dan Turgeon, and he fumbled both of those snaps, and I'm not really sure why they've made a change at quarterback, but that's what we saw there, those last 2
Billy,
plays.
it's your favorite word, trickeration.
Let's be honest. We don't really know who's playing quarterback because number 1 was the one that started, and there's no number 1 listed on their roster.
Changing jerseys.
Here's the snap and the handoff for Josh Furtado, and Furtado gashes as he goes off tackle to the left, across the 35 and down at the 32-yard line. Be about a yard and a half shy of a first down, so it'll be 4th and about 2.
Right now, Furtado, one of only 2 Mountaineers that have positive yardage so far for the offense of Wachusett. He has 2 carries for a total of 19 yards.
And remember, there's no real quarterback on this roster. Ben Lucier's previously been both a receiver and a running back in this Mountaineer formation in years past, and just not necessarily a case where they have a true quarterback out there. And Coach Dubzinski has to take a timeout here, and he will head over to the sideline. And it's a good time for us to remind you that Leominster High School football on the K-Zone is brought to you by High Country Workwear. And now that the fall is here, it means only one thing. It's time to get over to High Country Workwear in Leominster. Gearing up for the colder weather with new arrivals of work boots, sweatshirts, and heavy-duty workwear, High Country is your place to get outfitted. They're located at 155 Hamilton Street in Leominster. Find them online at highcountryworkwear.com. And Kate Meyer, Bill Thomas, and I will be over to High Country Workwear to get ready for Thanksgiving this year at Crocker Field on the roof. I can assure you we'll need some High Country Workwear on that day.
Be double gloving it.
No question about it. 4th and 2, and the snap and the handoff for Bolcherzik. Bounces it outside left again, crosses the 30. Another Mountaineer first down at the Blue Devil 25-yard line on a gain of 5, and they're finding some room, Bill, off tackle to the left.
Big gain there, off tackle, finally dragged down by Anthony Dandini, but a lot of holes there, and that's what we expected the Mountaineers to do, just kind of run it up the middle, make holes, and keep the ball on the ground.
And that's the final ticks of this first quarter of action. 0-0s on the board and 1 quarter of play in the books here from historic Doyle Field. With the score, Leominster nothing and Wachusett nothing. We got more to come. Teams change ends, second quarter of action. When we come back, you're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ. First opportunity in this fast-moving first quarter for bonus coverage. For those of you joining us live tonight on Leominster TV, Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Meyer, happy to have you along with us on a rain-soaked Doyle Field tonight. We'll be coming to you every time radio steps away. You'll get some bonus insight as well. And one of the things you heard right now, it appears Derek Franks, early on, we know at this point, at least from what we can tell, he may very well be out for the season. We know he's at least out the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, I happened to run into his dad before the game. He's going to be definitely in the cast for the next 3 weeks, being treated by a specialist, but I know they want to be cautious. You don't want to mess around with a leg injury, knee injury when you're a youth.
No question about it. Lots of time in the career to go.
A youth.
A youth. What is that word?
Youth.
Excuse me, a youth.
Youths.
My cousin Vinny. Gotta love it. And we're back to historic Doyle Field on the K-Zone. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Meyer. Happy to have you along with us. Starting second quarter action, and the teams will change ends. Heading now right to left on your radio dial. The snap out of Turgeon's hands. Fumbled football again. Referee Bill Goslin says Blue Devil football.
Third time
Leominster comes up with it. A nice job there, and another football out, Kate Meyer.
For the record, the poet called that.
The poet Bob Cross on top of it again, and a fumbled football and picked up by the Blue Devils. And as you said, Bill Thomas, third time's the charm. They keep putting the ball on the turf. Finally, Leominster able to get up with it.
Well, you know, Coach Palazzi talked about a pre-game. They had a 5-fumble game. They couldn't get any of them. They were hoping they could they knew there were going to be some fumbles, and took 3 before they finally got one tonight. But nice way to stop that drive when it looked like Wachusett was on the doorstep and heading in.
Just 9 seconds into this second quarter, 10:51 to play, no score, Leominster and Wachusett, and the Blue Devils come up with a turnover. 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line, and the snap and the give for Colina, and Colina finds some room up the A-gap. Straight he goes across the 30 and down at the 31-yard line. Solid gain of 7, second down and 3.
You know, I think we're going to see the Blue Devils keep the ball on the ground here. Just things aren't working out right in the passing game, so let's go with something and get a little ball control.
And Coach Palazzi's not afraid to go to a running attack, and certainly that was the decision he made there. 2nd down and 3 to go, and a straight back eye. Dandini with Colina dotting. Pair of receivers at the open side left, and Gray is under center as the Blue Devils go left to right on the K-Zone and right to left for those of you on Leominster TV. Dandini, the man first through the hole, fumbles the football as he goes to the ground across the 35 at the 36, and the referees say he is down on the ground. His knee was down before he lost the football, so that'll be a Leominster first down. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think a knee was down, and I think the ground actually caused that fumble, and if you know anything about football, the ground If you're being tackled, the ground cannot cause the fumble.
No matter how wet it is, the ground cannot be involved in that fumble.
One of the things that I do like to see here out of Coach Palazzi right now, ground to air assault for the Blue Devils, still around 50% each, but it's nice to see not afraid to adjust in game. We've seen in the last couple of weeks coaches basically refusing to adjust until halftime, and it really has cost some of them.
Certainly makes it interesting with our mid-game adjustments. I formation, Dandini and Storm dotting. Play action fake, and Gray will roll out and throw. Pass complete in the right flat for Anthony Dandini, and he steamrolls a defender. Ryan McCarthy got dropped along the sideline, gain of 8. Nice play there, and again, Bill Thomas, of course, you saw in the replays from last week, Blue Devils coming out of that backfield with Dandini, finding some rooms on those little wing roll flats, and nice job again. Dandini rolls out again out of the backfield and finds him wide open.
Well, you got to get the ball to him one way or the other, and you get it to him with a head of steam. You know he's not running out of bounds. He's challenging any defensive player, and he showed it right there.
Last week, Dandini making contributions in the air as well. He had 3 receptions in the game against St. Peter Marion.
Single back with 3 receivers set and the snap, and they give it to Travis Storm, and Storm takes it forward across the 45, and right there for another Blue Devil first down. Leominster got a little something going here. 9:22 to play here in the second quarter, and no score. Leominster and Wachusett.
Once again, Travis comes out of that pile, hobbled a little bit, but no way is he coming out of that game. I'm sure the adrenaline's sky high.
Gray back into his huddle, first down and 10 with the ball just across the Blue Devil 45 at the 45.5-yard line at right hash. Pistol formation sets up with Storm and Dandini in the backfield with Gray. Pair of receivers at the open side left of the formation, and Gray the snap. Fakes it to Dandini. It's an option out to the left. Ooh. Gray keeps it as he turns the left corner, and he got bent awkwardly after gaining 1 very difficult yard. But Gray appears to be okay, right back up and coming to the near sideline.
Yeah, he got twisted around there a little bit. Somebody got him up high around the neck and kind of carrying that ball like a loaf of bread out there. I'd like to see him show a little bit more ball security.
Especially on a wet night, as we pass under 8.5 minutes to play here in a fast-moving first half of action. On a rain-soaked night here at historic Doyle Field, hardy crowd on hand, though, representing both schools, and happy to have you along with us wherever you are on the K-Zone WPKZ AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Here's the snap, and back to pass. Gray on second down and 9. It's a radio ball. Kyle could hear it, but he couldn't see it. It was out of bounds and incomplete, and it'll bring up third down and 8.
That ball definitely sailed out of Noah Gray's hands and didn't come down anywhere near the receiver. I don't even think anybody on the sideline was close enough to catch that one.
I don't think he had a good grip from the start. You kind of saw almost a little bit of a hesitation in his cadence as soon as he got the ball from the center. I don't think he could find the laces, and then it just sailed on him.
No question about that.
One of the things I see Noah doing on almost every time he drops back is he's got that little hitch giddy up. Even on a handoff, he's taking that one-step skip hop, and then either handing or going into a passing situation.
3rd and 8 in a shotgun formation, 3 receivers wide. Little bubble screen sets up to the left. Pass is complete for Travis Storm. Storm coming laterally across midfield. 45, first down and dragged down at the 41-yard line of the Mountaineers. A gain of 15 and a Blue Devil first down. Nice job by Travis Storm and a nice job by Gray to let that rush get on him, Bill Thomas, and then drop the pass over top of it.
And that's how you design a screen. You got to make the defensive linemen think that they're coming after you for a sack, and nice, well-designed play there. And I'm looking at Travis Storm. I see he's got his right ankle taped up. I think that's what's hobbling him. I didn't know if that was a pregame situation, but I do see he's favoring that right leg a little bit.
First down and 10 at the 41-yard line of the Mountaineers, going left to right for the Blue Devils, or right to left on Leominster TV. Here's the snap and the give for Storm. Takes it off the right side of the center this time, diving across the 40 to the 38. Gain of 4, and it's second down and 6.
Good job by the Blue Devils running the ball up the middle, and it helps keep the defense honest. And I fully expect to see them mix the pass play in here after they soften up the defense a little bit with that running game. 9th
play of the drive coming up for the Blue Devils. They've already had 3 first downs on this drive, which started with 10:51 to go in the second quarter, starting at their own 24-yard line.
Straight back I formation behind Gray with Dandini down and Colina dotting. No check, that's Storm dotting. And a pair of Jacksons at the right side of the formation. Here's a snap and a handoff for Dandini, who bounces it out to the right side, across the 30, the 25, and out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Another Blue Devil first down on a gain of 13.
That fullback play, first man through, and big hole there and untouched until he was about 10 yards into that run.
And a nice find there as Dandini found a really big hole in the formation and bounced it to the outside. Bill, look at that canal on the replay.
A good 10 yards before
Canal.
any Mountaineer got a hand on him.
The Panama Canal right there.
The Isthmus of Panama.
Dandini and Storm in that straight back eye again. Pair of Jacksons on the short side right again. The snap. And Dandini again. Same play. Off the right side of the center across the 20 and down at the 18-yard line on a gain of 8. And right now the Blue Devils have found something out of this I formation with Dandini, the big back, going headlong into the defense.
I was thinking the same thing, Todd, running the same play back to back there. They definitely saw a matchup that they like on the offensive defensive line there, and using that to their advantage and putting Dandini right in that hole.
Sideline warning to Coach Dubzinski and his coaching staff.
I automatically thought it was
I thought it was going to be on Lemonster, but out of the box,
automatically-
they shift him back behind the 25-yard line. Here's an eye backfield behind Gray again, and Travis Storm gets the carry as they go to the left side this time. Meets a little resistance after a gain of 3. He'll be close to a first down, right around the 15-yard line of the Mountaineers.
Looks like he's about a yard short, going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, it looks like they need the 14-yard line of the Mountaineers for a first down as the Blue Devils continue this left-to-right march on the K-zone, right to left for those of you joining us on Lemonster TV as we pass under 5:45 to play here in the second quarter. No score, Lemonster and Wachusett, but the Blue Devils on the most and longest sustained drive of the night. Out of an eye, here's the snap, and Dandini again, off the right side of the center, crosses the 10-yard line and down around the 8. It'll be a Blue Devil first down and goal after a gain of 6 for Dandini.
Same
He's a
spot.
beast out there.
Same spot, running off the right side of the offensive line and picking up yardage whenever he needs it. Good first down run there off 3rd down.
Dandini tonight, 4 carries for 31 yards, and he has a reception for 8 yards as well. 13th play of the drive coming up right now for the Blue Devils, and they've already picked up 5 first downs on this drive.
Connor Skinner switches to the right side in that tight end spot of the formation. I backfield behind Gray, pair of Jacksons at the open side left. And the snap, and they put it in the hands of Dandini going to the left side this time, and forward he goes, maybe a gain of 3. And he'll put him right around the 7-yard line, it looks, on that far left hash. 2nd and goal from the 7.
That looked like a keep him honest play right there, Todd, but I fully expect him to come back to the right side. And I'm looking, they've been running behind Eddie Cudahy and the tight end Connor Skinner. I can say I would fully expect them to go back to that side of the offense.
And they are opening up a hole on that right side. Are both the tight end Connor Skinner and, of course, Eddie Cudahy, the right tackle on the outside, getting a little help there. Jordan Clark, the right guard as well. I backfield behind Gray, and here's the snap and the give for Dandini. Right behind Clark and Cudahy. Forward he goes to about the 5-yard line, a gain of 6. And he is right around the 1, maybe the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal with about 2 to go to pay dirt.
Use that muscle out there. I think Cudahy's going to lead Dandini right into the end zone here, Todd.
15th play of the drive coming up. Dandini, all of his rushes and his reception coming on this offensive drive. He has 6 rushes and a reception for 49 yards.
I backfield, Gray with Storm dotting. Under center, the snap, into the end zone, a loose football, and it's a Blue Devil touchdown. The ball came out, but it was after Dandini fell across the goal line. So it's 6 points for the Blue Devils, and it looked ugly in the end, but it counts just the same. A touchdown for Lemonster with 3:56 to play here in the second quarter and a 6-0 Blue Devil lead.
Once again, following Cudahy into the end zone there with a little help from Jordan, but they rode Cudahy's back right down there, opening holes for Dandini all the way down the right side of the offense there.
You got a Clydesdale. Why keep him in the barn? Mateo Chacon to hold. Dylan Nato to snap, and Christian Lewis to do the kicking. The snap and the ball is down, and the Golden Toe drives it up and through. And as the teams come back up the field, 3:56 to play here in the second quarter with the score. Lemonster 7 and Wachusett nothing. We got more to come. You're listening to Lemonster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ. And bonus coverage for our viewers on LATV. And Dylan Nato, our long snapper tonight. Mateo Chacon doing the holding, and Christian Lewis with the Golden Toe there driving it up and through as well.
I'm a Dylan Nato fan. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, you met his dad, who's a very big guy, and by the way was
Very nice man.
a very nice man
Very
and
nice
great
man.
protection. He was our security detail during the parade coverage last weekend. And we welcome you back to historic Doyle Field. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Meyer. 3:56 to play here in the second quarter and a 7-0 lead. And Kate, you've got the drive summary for the Blue Devils.
Drive summary for the Blue Devils. We had a 15-play drive. It also had 5 first downs for the Blue Devils. It covered 7 minutes. Ends with a 1-yard touchdown run by Anthony Dandini. The Golden Toe is good. It's a 7-0 advantage, Blue Devils.
And the Golden Toes got the ball on the 40-yard line to our left from the home sideline, or right for those of you joining us on Leominster TV from the visitors' side of things tonight. Rain continues to fall hard on a soaked, damp Sport X surface here at Doyle Field, and Lewis signals his arm is down and his approach straight up the center of the field. A low ground ball hop fielded at the 19-yard line, and up the field it comes in the hands of Blake Reeves. And Reeves bounces it to the outside right, crosses the 30 and the 35, and down right about there, and that's where the Mountaineers will set up shop. 1st and 10, their own 35.
Good job on the downfield coverage there, and that squibbler bounced off a couple
I like
of
that,
Blue
Bill.
Devil tacklers.
You just invented a word, a squibbler.
A squibbler.
That is a first, and you know what? We may keep it. That was a that is a squib roller. It's a squibbler.
Squibbler.
And good job on the coverage there, and I think that's probably the way the Blue Devils will be going after
Only
every
the
time
two
they
of you.
score tonight.
Only the 2 of you.
It is about having fun, you know.
You got trickeration. I
Got
need
trickeration.
something.
That's a
and
real
squibblers.
word, though.
And here's the snap. And Turgeon puts it in the hands of the first man through. Still bouncing off a defender is Colin Cummings. And Cummings continues to battle across the 40 and down at the Mountaineer 45. And that is a sheer determination first down. Colin Cummings would not be denied first down yardage.
Blue Devils kind of gave up on that. Looked like he was wrapped up, and you don't want to get called for piling in and piling on. But nice job by Cummings there to fight out of the tackles and gain probably about 8 extra yards.
Cummings gets just the second first down for the Mountaineers. Again, no pass attempts by Wachusett tonight. They have had 6 different people rush the football.
First down and 10 for the Mountaineers. Double wing formation, and under center, it's Turgeon. And the snap puts it in the hands of Matt Russell, the fullback, and forward he goes off the right side of the center to about midfield. It'll be a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5.
You know, we've seen the Mountaineers probably run 3 or 4 different running backs along with the quarterback on and off the field, and we knew that's what the Mountaineers were going to bring. Steady dose of rushing and fresh legs.
And 2nd down, just across midfield, they give him for the official spot. 2nd down and 4 to go. Under center, it's Turgeon from the Blue Devil 49. And Turgeon the snap and puts it in the hands of the first man into the pile, and he got swallowed up almost immediately. From the bottom of the pile emerges, looks like Matt Russell again on the carry.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on this quarterback change, Todd and Kate. We saw look like Ben Lucier out there for the first 2 series, but quickly Dan Turgeon has become the quarterback of favor here in the 2nd quarter.
Yes, he has, and it is an interesting change. But again, all run-based options here. There really is not a passer. I don't know what the numbers are offhand, but I would assume the Mountaineers have not thrown many passes this season. Here's the snap, and Boltrazik hits the hole, got tripped up as he got there, crossing midfield, and gains maybe a yard or 2 to the Blue Devil 47-yard line. 4th down and 2 to go on a gain of 3.
And a big play coming up here, and I'm going to go for some low-hanging fruit, and I think they're going to go for this on 4th down. But this is definitely, you hate to think that big plays in 2nd quarter, but we got one of the first big plays of the game right here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. Certainly, although the Blue Devils
looks like
think
a personnel
potential,
change now.
punt formation here as Storm trots back into return formation right around the 10-yard line.
Mountaineers late to make that switch there, and I wonder if they're going to be up against the clock here before they get this play off.
About 1:23 to play in the 2nd quarter. 7-0 Leominster's lead. Baird is in punt formation, and now Coach Palazzi grabs a quick timeout from the near sideline and stops the clock with 1:18 to play in the half. A 7-0 lead, and yeah, they are going to take that timeout, and Blue Devils want to send a couple of different options out there. Good time to remind you, Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, brought to you by Overhead Door Company of Leominster. Call them at 978-537-9932 or find them on the web at theoverheaddoorco.com.
I'm sorry, Todd. I think Coach Palazzi saw what we saw here. A trio of running backs set up about 4 yards off of the line of scrimmage, and I think he sniffed a fake there and decided maybe to play some straight-up defense on this punt formation.
That was that up protection in front of the punter. They had it set kind of in that swinging door model, and you're absolutely right, Bill Thomas. With a couple of running backs in there at least, you could certainly snap it to one of them and have them move for a first down when you're only looking for a yard and a half.
Looks like Furtado, Boltrazik, and one other running back are all lined up there.
Good snap. It's going to be a rugby squib for Barrett, a big guy, and he got it out and downfield. Fielded by Storm on a high hop at the 25. Head of steam. Got a little help from a Mountaineer. Bounces him outside free. Midfield and right sideline. Grabbed by the jersey and hauled down out of bounds across the 45-yard line. A 22-yard return. And it's a Blue Devil first down on a beautiful return by Travis Storm. He found the hole, Bill Thomas, on that return and got a little help when two Mountaineers collided with one another, and that one was almost blocked as well.
Yeah, it looked like they had ideas of maybe faking that, but protection broke down. But Travis Storm come off here holding his hand. I don't know if he's got a dislocated finger or something, but definitely got a problem with his right hand now.
He's certainly been banged up throughout the night, so we will keep an eye on that. Probably the next most important Blue Devil offensive threat out there may be Storm, with Derek Franks already out for at least 6 weeks and maybe more. First down and 10 for the Blue Devils at the 45-yard line of the Mountaineers, going left to right on the K-zone, right to left for those of you joining us on Leominster TV. And back to pass. And rolling out is Gray, and he throws incomplete. His intended receiver in the center of the field looked like it was Angel Began. Coach Palazzi wanted a flag for maybe an illegal hit on a defenseless receiver, but he didn't get it. It'll bring up second down and 10 back in the Mountaineer 45.
Began definitely ran into a brick wall out there in the form of a linebacker who was crossing in our direction, opposite off the TV, but definitely took a shot for no avail right there.
Right now, Noah tonight, 38% completion. Right now, Anthony Dandini has been the key to success for the Blue Devils offense, but they are trying to maintain that passing game. Again, only 3 of 8, 38% completion rate right now for Noah Gray.
Second down and 10 at the Mountaineer 45, and Gray sets, throws, complete little slant coming in from the right side, complete in the hands of Kyle Jackson across the 35, and down at the 34 on a 13-yard gain, and a first down for the Blue Devils, and a nice quick hitter there going to the outside, and a little in cut there from the receiver Jackson.
Blue
45 seconds to
up.
play here, Bill Thomas, and they are going to go into a hurry up. 7-0 Leominster's lead, and under 40 seconds to play. Gray the snap, flat-footed, got some time with some good blocking. Rolls out to his left now, chucks it deep and incomplete. He was looking for Alan Link, who had kind of given up his route, and I think Gray was kind of trying to riff there and see if he could find something on that left sideline.
Yeah, it looked like didn't expect the ball to come his way there. It looked like Began thought he was going to turn into a blocker and expected Gray to break that around the corner. Kind of surprised they've gotten away from what got him that touchdown, Todd, though. I know Coach Palazzi likes to mix it up, and I don't think whether just giving Anthony Dandini a little rest right here, but he hasn't even been on the field this offensive set.
Clock stopped on the incompletion, 32 seconds to play here in the first half of action. Began in motion from right to left. The snap,
Ooh.
They gave it to Colina on the delay, and there was plenty of defenders in the backfield to take him down. 3-yard loss on the play and a host of defenders in there. I saw Austin Davis in there. I also saw 73 Tom Shaper in there as well to put a pretty good hit on him in the backfield when Colina got handed the football.
Yeah, that drop play didn't fool anybody there. The Mountaineers just come charging in and almost took that handoff away from Noah Gray instead of the intended carrier, Angel Colina.
And Coach Palazzi grabs a quick timeout and an opportunity to remind you with just 24 seconds remaining here in the first half and a 7-0 Leominster lead coming up at the half. We've got a K-Zone Sports Update with Bennett Carroll from our WPKZ studios. A full stat recap of half number 1 with Kate. We've got updates around the region on our halftime scoreboard, and we'll preview second half action. All that's coming up at the half.
Can't feel my fingers.
I know, it's been a strangely kind of stark switch in the weather from what had previously been unseasonably warm to now suddenly unseasonably cool here on this fall night. Rain coming down. Can't really complain much, though. Of course, we are in the friendly confines of the home side press box here at Doyle Field. Heat's on, captain's chair's in place.
Kate's happy.
Life could be a lot worse, or I could name any of the other press boxes that we might have to spend time in later on.
Easy, we might have to go back there, Todd.
Any of them. third down and in the gun. 3 receivers at the open side left, short side, a single one-on-one matchup is Keith Jackson. And Gray back to pass on 3rd and 13. He rolls out, evades a defender, flings it down the right side, and looks for a flag is down here on the near sideline. Perhaps a late hit. Angel Began was the intended receiver, and referee Bill Goslin was the one over there and in the area, and a late hit potential here as it appears somebody got a hold of what looked like Gray at the end of that play as he was going to the sideline.
And when Gray went into the sideline, he tackled his own player, number 25
25,
Jordan Mobley, on
flying.
the ground. He went
flying out of the pile.
Like, he goes home, Mom, I didn't even play, but I got rocked.
And I got a grass stain as well, as it turns out.
I don't think they get grass stains here, though, remember?
Keep your head up.
Oh, man. Be like, Mom.
Referee Billy Goslin talking things over with one of the Blue Devils captains in Eddie Cudahy, and they're screaming over to the far side of the field, so Coach Dubzinski knows who the personal foul was on. But it's going to be a 15-yard penalty for the late hit, and an automatic Blue Devil first down with 16 seconds to play here in the second quarter. A 7-0 Leominster lead. Time to take a couple of pops for the end zone here. I can't imagine taking your foot off the gas when you've pressed this hard to get this deep early on, and you're not going to settle potentially for a field goal, potentially in the range, but certainly going to try to take a couple of pops at the end zone before you do that. Trips at the open side left, first down and 10 from the 23. Back to pass Gray, steps up in the pocket, squares his shoulders and throws behind his intended receiver, and that was Alan Link downfield, and Link just overran that football as Gray tried to find him, and clock will stop on the incompletion, 10 seconds to play in the half, 7-0 the lead for the Blue Devils, and second down, second and 10 from the 23-yard line of the Mountaineers coming up.
And Link was wide open there, thrown a little bit behind him, and just couldn't adjust in this weather.
Christian Lewis warming up over here, wandering over to the near side, getting a little water, stretching out on the near side of the field. He grabbed the tee. He's certainly hoping maybe to get his number called here if the Blue Devils can't convert late here in the first half. Gray in a shotgun spread, 3 receiver trips to the outside left. Comeback route, Kyle Jackson comes back and completes it. Jackson now rolling out to the right side of the field, across the 15-yard line at the 14. 1 second to play, and Coach Palazzi got the timeout in time.
Let him kick it.
Indeed, the clock here at Doyle Field
is
stopped
official.
with 1 tick left. It is official, so the Blue Devils will have 1 second to try the field goal. A 7-yard gain on the play, and Coach Mike Dubzinski screaming at referee Bill Goslin from the far side of the field. Once again getting warned about the sideline, but I haven't seen the official sideline warning yet. He's well outside of his box. And now Bill Goslin coming over to the near side of the field, and the indication is 2 seconds from the field. That'll make Mike Dubzinski for the Wachusett Mountaineers even more happy that there's just 2 seconds left. And then Christian Lewis will get the opportunity to come out and try this one. Dylan Nato will do the snapping. Mateo Chacon will hold. And Christian Lewis will have the opportunity for a 31-yard field goal with 2 seconds to play here in the first half of action. Golden Toe marking his distance, and Coach Dubzinski not going to take the timeout. Whistle to potentially play. Chacon to hold, Nato to snap, Lewis to kick. Ball on the tee. Lewis's kick is blocked at the line. Blocked and rolling out of bounds. They keep it alive. No, they say it touched the white and out of bounds, and a huge block and a little momentum for the Mountaineers here at the end of the first half. As the teams head to the locker room, Leominster 7 and Wachusett nothing after a rain-soaked, wet and slow first half on the field, but very fast timing-wise, Bill Thomas. A lot of play inside between the hashes, a lot of running time coming off the clock, but not much on either side. And we can see Coach Palazzi and Noah Gray, before they head to the locker room, having a little meeting of the quarterbacks out here to try to maybe get a plan together before they go in to talk to the team at halftime.
Yeah, very quickly, fast-paced first half here. Like I say, a lot of running plays, kept the ball on the ground, which keeps the clock moving. I think the only time the clock stopped was when they called timeouts and change for first quarter, second quarter. But the good thing is the Blue Devils going in the locker room at halftime with a 7-0 lead, and they come out and play a little defense, get some field position, and score quickly in the second half. I think we'll be on our way.
Yes, indeed. K-Zone Sports Update coming up with Bennett Carroll from the WPKZ studios. We got a full stat recap of half number 1 with Kate and updates around the region on our halftime scoreboard, plus a preview of second half action. 7-0 Leominster at the half, and more to come as our halftime show is next. For those of you on LATV, a performance by the Leominster High School Marching Band comes your way next. Everything else on the K-Zone side, and we got more to come. Halftime show is next. You're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ.
You are watching 20 games for 20 years on Leominster TV. We now continue with the action.
place to continue running behind that big house, Cudahy, and the help that he gets on that right side of the line. They definitely need to replace his yards in the second half.
And we'll see what they can do. 7-0 Leominster's lead. Christian Lewis with the ball in the tee at the 40-yard line to our left, puts the right foot into it in the second half. On the squibbler is underway. It hops across the 15 and up and will be returned. Straight up the center of the field on that one with the return. It was Blake Lewis, and Lewis across the 20 at the 25-yard line. And the Mountaineers set up there, first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And that second half kickoff is brought to you by the El Camino Restaurant. For a taste that's truly Italian and an atmosphere that feels like home, it's the El Camino Restaurant in Leominster. With homemade pasta and specialty dishes handed down from authentic family recipes, the El place to sit, eat, and enjoy. Check out the full menu online at ilcamino-restaurant.com. The El Camino Restaurant, 555 Central Street, Route 12, Leominster, where you really are family. First down and 10 from the 25, and Turgeon with the snap out of the double wing, and the handoff went straight up the middle across the 25 and down just shy of the 30, and it appeared the loose football in the pack toward the tail end there. Carry was Colin Cummings, and Cummings may have lost the football but got it right back, and so the gain will stand. Gain of 4, second down and 6 at the 29-yard line, going right to left here on the K-Zone, left to right for those of you joining us on Leominster TV. Here's the snap from Turgeon, and Turgeon puts it in the hands of Boltrazik, who bounces it off the right side of the tackle across the 30 to the 33-yard line. It'll be third down and about 2 coming up.
You know, my count tells me that's 4 fumbles now, only 1 loss, but definitely still having trouble hanging on to that ball on the Mountaineer side.
Third down, 2 to go. Ball at the 33-yard line for the Mountaineers, taking an extra second coming out of that huddle. Turgeon continues to play quarterback. Not sure what may have happened with Ben Lucier, but Dan Turgeon has been doing the work as the quarterback.
Quarterback by committee.
Yes, indeed. And Turgeon the snap, and he gave it a backhanded maneuver, put it in the hands of Matt Russell, the fullback, straight forward. He went, and he got taken down shy of the 35, but it is enough for a first down. They give him the 36, actually, and it is a first down. Russell with the carry for the Mountaineers.
You know, we were commenting at halftime about the quarterback change. I did a quick stat check, and Ben Lucier had only attempted 28 passes in the first 3 games. Maybe they just made the decision they're not going to throw the ball, so why fool around? Put a running quarterback out there and just run the ball left, right, and straight, and just disregard the entire passing game at this point. No other passing stats for any other quarterback from Wachusett except Ben Lucier, as far as what I can tell.
They've packed it tight, and now a flag, delay a game, comes from the back judge. And
that was quick.
Yeah, that seemed like a quick 40 seconds.
Why? Always when we're at Doyle, those come so fast.
And now
So fast.
they pick up the flag and they give Dubzinski the timeout. Not entirely certain how that's possible, but 9:10 to play here in the third quarter, and 7-0 the lead for the Blue Devils. And time now for the time and temperature, brought to you by Expert Pest Control. If it buzzes, crawls, or bites, Expert Pest Control in Fitchburg will professionally eliminate your problem. Eco and pet friendly, not pest friendly. They won't rest till each and every pest is eliminated. Ants, termites, roaches, and more gone. Expert Pest Control, South Street, Fitchburg, online at expertpestcontrol.net, a professional solution. 48 degrees, 8:13, late rain continues to fall here at Doyle Field, and on that first down carry coming out of the timeout, it's Boltrazik on that carry out of the double wing, bounces it to the outside for a gain of 13, and it's a Mountaineer first down across the 45 at the 47-yard line. And the Mountaineers have something going here. First down and 10, their own 47, as they march right to left on your radio dial.
You know, Kate just pointed out, crack spotted. She is Dantini's back on the field, but he was trailing that play badly, and no chance to get in on that tackle. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
First down and 10, Turgeon the snap. Seemed like there was something off on the timing there, but straight up the center of the field it goes. New number there, 36, Anthony Bohonic on the carry, and Bohonic takes it forward across midfield. Gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4 into Blue Devil territory, now at the Blue Devil 47-yard line.
I'm running out of space for the rush.
A host of running backs
No more
getting their
room.
chance tonight. I think that's probably, 6 different ball carriers tonight for the
I've
the
got
Mountaineers?
7.
7.
7 different Mountaineers touch the football on the ground, and here's another. Stick it in the breadbasket of Colin Cummings, coming right to left on that second down play.
Luckily, he's run before tonight.
Yes, he has, and into the pile he gets stopped. No gain. Third down and 4.
leading the charge in that pile. Connor Skinner wrapped him up big time, and that was the end of his advancement there.
This quick drive already the most successful for the Mountaineers on the night. We got the 7th play of the drive coming up. They've already gotten 2 first downs on this drive, so already coming out of the halftime adjustments, making some. We have a quarterback change. They still haven't thrown the ball, but making their way downfield slowly but surely.
Blue Devils continue to pack that box. Got at least 8 guys, maybe 9 guys in there, and your secondary's playing awfully close to the box as well. Here's the snap. Boltrazik gets the carry on 3rd down and 4. He keeps the pile moving off tackle to the right, across the Blue Devil 45 to about the 43, and that puts it right on the line of the first down, and referee Bill Goslin says it is a first down for the Mountaineers, and the drive continues as they march methodically across this Sport X surface, dampened tonight by rain, although it has been lightening up over the last few minutes, but let's not say anything.
And I got a comment on, we have not seen any footing issues tonight. Players doing a good job maintaining their footing, getting in their cuts.
First down and 10, and Turgeon handed it to the first man through and faked to the second. Boltrazik got the carry off left side this time, and forward he goes across the 43 to the 41-yard line. 2 yards gained, 2nd down and 8.
Once again, we see the Mountaineers running between the tackles, not doing anything fancy, just mixing up the handoffs and using a little deception, but just staying on the ground, and I'm fully expecting them to possibly not throw a pass the entire game.
The other thing with this rushing attack in a very close game, they've already chewed 4.5 minutes off of the clock.
And in what already seemed like a very short first half, continues into the second. Here's a sweep pitch going to the outside right in the hands of Boltrazik. Turgeon threw a nice pitch out there to him. He turned the corner, got about 2, maybe 3 more. 3rd down and about 6 coming up here across the Blue Devil 40 at the 38-yard line.
I think defensively, the Blue Devils don't mind seeing that pitch with their defensive speed. I think they can get out there and contain that. Mountaineers' success seems to be between the tackles, and I expect them to go back there.
Yeah, no question about that.
That's kind of a keep them honest play, I think, Todd, though, just to kind of keep them spread out, not have them packing 8, even 9 in the box.
You got to do something because you're certainly not going to try to throw the ball over top of them.
Holy moly.
And now a flag flies from the backfield. Referee Bill Goslin says we got a problem here.
Oh,
and
God.
oh boy, it's a sideline warning against the Mountaineers. At least nobody's wearing blue tonight, but that point of emphasis.
Notice all the
continues
Blue Devils
with
backed
the
up
officials.
anyway.
They all kind of looked.
Backed up anyway. It wasn't us this time,
Well,
I promise.
and it's because referee Bill Goslin looked over at this side of the
he
field,
did.
but
Almost
he
pushed them back.
pointed over to the Mountaineers' side in the direction they're going, and he is barking back and forth with Coach Mike Dubzinski over on the far side.
Bad when we automatically think it's not. Oh, is that a pass
Turgeon
attempt?
faked the pass, took it down, turned the corner though. It pushed the defense back and got him enough for a first down across the 35 and out of bounds around the 31-yard line. It is a Mountaineer first down on a confusing situation as it bounced to the outside.
The
It was
chains
a
have already
run-pass
moved.
option. Yeah, they have moved it, and it is a first down.
Yeah, it looked like he had the idea to pass, whether he was just trying to slow up the defense. He definitely used it to get around Travis Strom and pick up that first down.
And they say that was out of bounds at the 32-yard line, which the mark moved so quickly, as Kate pointed out. I'm not entirely certain he achieved it, but they're going to give it to him nonetheless. They fake the handoff, and up the center of the field to the second man through. It was Russell, the fullback, off the left side. Bounces it to the outside across the, looks like the 34, and up to about the 30-yard line they will give him. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Good job of getting the ball to the first man through there, much like the Blue Devils were using Dandini there for their score. Give him to the first guy and let him play off that quick block and gain up some positive yards.
Winding under 5 minutes to play here in quarter 3. Leominster nursing a 7-0 lead, and the defense badly needing a stop with the Mountaineers on the march. 2nd down and 8. Here's Russell again, the fullback, from the left side of the tackle, across the 30 and to the 27-yard line of the Blue Devils. Gains a few yards more, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. They need to move the ball to the Blue Devil 22-yard line for a first down, Kate.
This drive has been pretty masterful so far by the Mountaineers. We have the 13th play of the drive coming up. They've already achieved 4 first downs on this drive, and with 4 minutes and 30 seconds ticking off of that clock, they've already taken about 7 minutes off of the clock.
And the Blue Devils have yet to touch the ball offensively in this 3rd quarter.
And it has stopped raining.
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
Which would certainly help a passing game. On 3rd and 5, the snap. Turgeon rolling out, looking with a run-pass option again. Takes it down, turns the right corner. He's got first down across the 20 at the 19-yard line of the Blue Devils. And right now, Leominster's defense having a hard time finding whether this is going to be a run option. Do we need to seal the edge? Do we need to drop back and let him pass over top of us? Just merely showing a pass worth at least a gain of 8 and a first down.
Yeah, the Mountaineers doing a good job on that rollout of running the defenders off the play there as the receivers are going downfield, and a wide open field there for Turgeon to catch up, get some good yardage. First down.
First down and 10 at the 19-yard line of the Blue Devils, and the right to left march continues. Tripped up was Turgeon as he came out of the chute, but he got the handoff into the hands of Cummings. Cummings battled it back to the line of scrimmage. Should be no gain, if anything, a half a yard. Call it second and a short 10.
Good job by the Blue Devils swarming defense there to corral that for a short gain. And the Mountaineers been good, doing a good job in second and third efforts to gain additional yards. Blue Devils swarming to the ball there and bringing them down for a very short gain.
Second down, call it 9 from the 18-yard line. Turgeon the snap, puts it in the hands of Bohanec, tries that left side hole again at the A-gap, and maybe a half a yard more. Call it third down and 8 coming up, and they still need to stretch this ball to the Blue Devil 9-yard line for a first down.
Antonio sent Tafante in there, and a quick read on that, got his arms around him, dropped him for a short gain, about a gain of maybe 1, if any. Good job by Antonio. I saw him over here on the sideline. He looked like he was battling some type of injury, but he is back out there on the field.
16th play of the drive coming up for the Mountaineers with 2:38 to go in the quarter. And they've had the only offensive drive.
Third down and 8 from the spread formation this time. The snap, they put it in the hands of another new man. That's Josh Furtado. He's had one other carry on the day, and Furtado bounced it to the outside left, gained a couple more.
Billy, that's
4th and 6.
That's a huge save by Connor Skinner there.
You saw
Holy
that, huh?
moly.
Because he was the last man between the goal line and a tackle there, and good job by Connor Skinner, one-on-one tackle, because there was no other Blue Devils out there. They had all been ran off the play. You know, interestingly enough, setting up in the shotgun there just to kind of give a little different look, but continue keeping the ball on the ground.
Got to do something, try to keep the Blue Devils defense guessing, which they've done very well on this drive. Turgeon under center on 4th down and 5. Turgeon rolling out, looking pass here, turns the corner again, steps inside of a defender across the 10, and that looks like a Mountaineer first down at the 9. I believe he had it. A nice run by Turgeon, and the third time on this drive that play worked. Merely showing a pass, pulling it down, and turning the right corner. That's a first down for Turgeon. Nice carry there, and the drive continues for the Mountaineers. First and goal from the Blue Devil 9.
Roll out there. They're showing that pass, and Blue Devils are biting on it. As soon as the defenders get run off on that side of the field, nothing but open field over there. But the Blue Devils had a chance to make a tackle. I think 2 missed tackles led to that first down. Coach Palazzi is not happy. He called immediate timeout to get his defense over here and just give them all a little pep talk.
Well, and Billy, that was a huge opportunity for the defense right there to come up with a big stop. I mean, think about it if you're Noah Gray. You've been sitting out here for 9 minutes.
9.5 minutes.
9 minutes.
Yeah.
You haven't even gotten to play yet, and plus you had halftime. So you're talking about a 15-minute halftime plus 9 minutes of game clock. He hasn't done anything in 40 minutes.
Yeah, about a good 40, 45 minutes.
Nothing.
Exactly. He's been playing catch over here, and but still.
This is like a kid waiting to go out for recess in the first grade. He can't get out there.
You know, we used to seeing the Blue Devils put these kind of drives together, but we'll have to see if the defense can stiffen. Hold the Mountaineers here.
Still again, the Mountaineers have not attempted a pass, but they have the 18th play of this drive coming up. It started on their own 25-yard line. The ball is now on the Blue Devil 9-yard line, so they've gone nearly the entire length of the field, and they've chewed up just an enormous amount of clock, just unbelievable.
And their first downs have been coming in 11-yard bunches.
Yes.
They need 10, they get an 11.
Yeah.
So that's really how you chew the clock up.
And coming out of the timeout, 1:43 to play here in the third. An epic drive for the Mountaineers thus far. First down and goal from the Blue Devil 9-yard line. Their right to left march continues with Dan Turgeon in a double wing. He fakes, he rolls out to the right. He's running out of room and he throws, looking for the end zone, and incomplete. Anthony Bohanec was the intended receiver. He was engaged with a couple of defenders, Storm and Kyle Jackson over there, and Coach Palazzi maybe wants a call for potentially an offensive pass interference, as Bohanec never looked for the football, and he had 2 Blue Devils tied up.
Yeah, you know, and they're playing with that short side of the field over there, too. And, Turgeon didn't have much room to work with. Looked like something going on there Coach Palazzi wasn't happy about.
On second down and goal from the 9. They go back to the ground, and this time looks like Boltrazik. Straight up the middle he goes. Gains a yard, and it's going to bring up fourth down, it looks like, and goal from the 8. Oh, third and goal from the 8. That card flipped awfully quick on me there. Must have been flipping it as he moved there.
As the play is going down, they're flipping the down marker.
20th play of this drive coming up.
First home game for the Chang Gang as well, and still not the Chang Gang that Bob Cross ran when he was out there on the field. The box has never been right ever since. Split back in the backfield, and here's a sweet pitch coming to the near side. Little stutter step, turning the left corner. Boltrazik, upfield he leans for the goal line. He's in! It's a Mountaineer touchdown! Capping off a glacial drive here in the third quarter, and drawing us within 7-6, with 50 seconds to play here in the third. Mountaineers pending the extra point.
Great job by the Mountaineers offense, running to this side, what turned out to be the wide side of the field, and utilizing all that space. They're stringing it out and gaining the corner for the touchdown and 6.
And over to the sideline goes Ryan McCarthy. He's talking things over with the coaching staff, and now here come the Mountaineers, and Mike Dubzinski's coming off that sideline out to the numbers, calling out signals. Peter Baird does the extra point kicking. Baird, again, remember, also plays right guard. But in the case of special teams, he is their kicking specialist. Baird marks off the distance and looks to tie the game. Snap, the ball on the tee. Baird, one-step kick. Blocked at the line. It is playable. Keith Jackson has it. Jackson can have 2 if he can run it all the way back. Now reversing Fields off the left sideline. Just one man to beat at the right corner, and he cuts Jackson down. Little bit of excitement on the extra point attempt. Blocked at the line. Leominster maintains a 1-point lead at 7-6 with 50 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Teams have a little less way to come back upfield. 7-6 Leominster's lead, and more to come. You're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers on LATV, and Keith Jackson, right place, right time on that one.
Right idea, too, taking it out like that. Can still score on those extra point after touchdown attempts, and one man to beat, but it was a running back out there. He just couldn't get around him. But good way to end that drive by stopping that point after touchdown attempt and getting something positive out of that. So we'll see if they can bring that on the field.
As we come back to historic Doyle Field on the K-Zone, Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer. 7-6 is Leominster's lead. 50 seconds to play here in the third quarter, and this game's been every bit the exciting one we certainly expected. Kate, you have an epic scoring drive summary from the Mountaineers.
I do. We had a 10-minute drive covering 75 yards. It was 20 plays long, ends with a 7-yard touchdown rush by number 35. That would be Zach Boltrick. And the extra point, this is the important part, no good, 7-6 advantage Leominster.
And it was a block there and a potential run back on the extra point as well. And Peter Baird now marks off the distance as he is their kickoff specialist, as I said, in addition to the right guard as well. Ball on the tee, 40-yard line at our right. And on the approach, end over end it goes. It will be short and returnable. Off the chest of Keith Jackson this time. Plays it on the one hop across the 25 and gets dragged down at the 29-yard line. Leominster maintains possession. Ugly, but it's first down and 10 at their own 30. Going left to right here on your radio dials on the K-Zone, or right to left for those of you joining us on Leominster TV.
That could have been catastrophic right there. Nothing worse than if they had given the ball right back to the Mountaineers and get that offense out there. You got to get the defense off, and the Blue Devils really got to put together a couple of first downs here. 20-play drive.
And quickly.
20-play drive is a long time to have your defense out there.
They've been not on that field for at least 45 to 50 minutes, at least.
Yeah, Noah Gray certainly going to be looking to warm up again, and
we're going to take a timeout.
A quick 30-second timeout is. I feel like we just started.
They had 45 minutes to get that one ready to go. Let's take 30 more seconds.
Let's take 30 more seconds, and a good time to remind you, Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, brought to you by Joseph Jewelers in downtown Leominster, a family-owned business for over 30 years. Visit them online at josephjewelers.inc. LMSterTV.com.
I will say, we joke about that, but I could never do what Coach Palazzi and his coaching staff does on day in and day out. I could never, take care of all those kids all at the same time, getting those packages out. So kudos to them.
Well, you got to appreciate the job the coaches do on the sidelines, keeping everybody on the same page. I see Anthony Dandini's back on the field. We'll have to see how effective he is. Along with Travis Storm, they're both battling early game injuries here.
First down and 10 at the 30. Pistol formation. Dandini will flank out to the left, set up trips on the left side. Quick screen for the wide receiver, Kyle Jackson. And Jackson stutter steps and loses a couple of yards as the defense swarms him back out of bounds. Loss of about 5 out of bounds at the 25-yard line of the Blue Devils. And it'll be second down and 15.
Yeah, Travis doing a little, now who is that out there? It looked like Kyle Jackson
Yes,
doing a little dancing out there, but dancing in the wrong direction.
Officially, his point of farthest progress was a loss of 3. It'll be second and 13, out of bounds at the 27-yard line of the Blue Devils.
That's not the direction we want to be going.
No, another drive going the wrong way, and the last 10 ticks coming up here, now 5 remaining here in the third quarter. Will they get this playoff in the third quarter? I'm not certain. Coach Palazzi says hold up, and Gray lets the time run out. And Coach Mike Dobzinski is energized, and his team is believing. And the all-important fourth quarter of action comes up after the team's change ends. Leominster 7 and Wachusett 6. The exciting conclusion of this one when we come back. You're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers joining us live tonight on Leominster TV. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer, and happy to have you along with us in what has been an interesting night of football. And that third quarter seemingly went by in a blink.
I don't think the clock stopped other than maybe to move the chains, and everything was in bounds. No pass attempts, although we did see some pass sets, but they continued to run. Mountaineers continued to run, even out of those passing sets, and using that rollout very effectively, doing a good job of getting Turgeon out on the edge on that right side and gaining some effective yards, some very important first downs there that led to that touchdown.
And they only actually threw it one time, and it was incomplete.
It'll be interesting to see big play coming up here for the Blue Devils. They got to stay on they got to keep the offense on the field, Todd. They lost 2 yards there. It's not raining. Let's get back to Blue Devils offense here. Spread the ball out. Let's throw it down the field.
On second down and 13, we welcome you back on the K-Zone. Gray is back to pass. Got some time. Steps up in the pocket, and he is sacked. Sacked in the backfield. Loss of at least 3 or 4 more. As the defense was in the backfield, and Quick and Gray had no time to do anything but hold on to the football and go down. Again, the drive going the wrong way. Third down and long now. Ball back across the Blue Devil 25 at the 24. They need their own 39-yard line for a first down.
I'm going to make a kind of a projection ahead here. You know who the punter is, right?
Yeah, Anthony Dandini.
And he is hobbled, right leg. So it'll be interesting to see if they get in a punting situation here, who's going to handle the punting duties.
7-6 Leominster's lead. 10-18 to play here in the fourth quarter, and that lead is hobbled as well, Bill Thomas, as the Blue Devils offense not able to do much in the third quarter, and now in the fourth as they go right to left or left to right on Leominster TV, and now a flag down from the back judge for a delay of game, and 5 yards in the wrong direction again, and Coach Palazzi says, no way, absolutely no way, your hourglass is not functioning. He is no way he's believing that time ran out as quickly as it did.
Doesn't it go faster here? Time literally runs faster on this field.
I wish we had a 40-second time where we could just flip back and forth here. But, and the back judge here holds his wrist out and points at it. It's like, come on.
Yeah, their watches do seem to run a lot faster on nights here at Doyle Field. Third down and very, very long. I believe you got to catch a cab to the Blue Devil 39 for a first.
Always.
Shotgun spread. Link shifts in motion left to right. Here's the snap, and Gray's going to roll toward that trips on the right side. Got some time. Back across his body he throws, and short of his intended target, Angel Began. And it's going to be fourth down and 29 coming up. Blue Devils will be punting deep in their own territory.
Go for it.
Now, that's the Chris Lindstrom from Shepherd Hill. All the respect to him, but there is no down he has ever seen that he likes to punt.
Looks like Dandini's going to stay on the field to get this punt off. We'll see how, his first punt wasn't all that good. He did get a good roll out of it, but we'll have to see how his injuries are going to affect this upcoming punt.
Good snap to Dandini. Got some backside pursuit. Got the punt off. It is a rain-bringing ball.
Nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it. Popping, and it is touchdown by Connor Skinner. at the 35-yard line of the Blue Devils. That punt could have been better. Mountaineer football, first down and 10 in Blue Devil territory at the Blue Devil 35-yard line. And Kate, I think this goes without saying, this is the best starting field position for the Mountaineers all night long.
You could say that and then some.
I'm gonna say that punt went higher than it went
far.
The length of the field. It's about a 16-yard punt right there, and setting the Mountaineers up in great field position.
Yes, indeed. You don't have to do much magic offensively here, and what they can do is kill a lot of this fourth quarter if they can make it count at the end of the drive. Split back set in the snap, and they put it into the hands of Matt Russell, the fullback, gashing the Blue Devil defense across the 30 and down at the 27-yard line. That's a gain of 7, second down and 3.
Once again, using that first man through, the fullback and between the tackles, finding some holes and gaining positive yardage.
Let's go, defense, let's go. Ball at the Blue Devil 27-yard line, second down and 3 to go. They need to move the ball to the Blue Devil 25 for the first.
Defensively, I think this is the biggest drive for Leominster. They need a stop, and they need it quickly.
And perhaps the biggest defensive drive of the season. The snap, and Matt Russell gets the handoff again. And this time, Connor Skinner grabs a hold of the back of him and pulls Russell back, but he moved that football up right about to the edge of that 25-yard line. And referee Bill Goslin works with his crew, and he says, let's bring in the change. So they're going to stop the clock temporarily. 8:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. 7-6 Leominster's lead, and they're going to stretch out the chains here.
I think he's got it, and if he doesn't, it's by about a half an inch. It's very close.
Here come the chains in from the far side of the field.
But, I mean, with third down coming up, wouldn't you, with right now how Russell's been running right up that A-gap?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a follow-me call, I would say,
unless
on third
you're
down
Pete
to
Carroll.
short.
Oh, they're going to be
they
short.
They stretch it out, and it is
just a tad
short by about the chain clip itself. Probably 2-3 inches shy of their intended target. They're going to leave the football right there. It's a step inside of the right hash. Just the nose of the football needs to move up to the 25-yard line for the first. It'll be third down and extremely short coming out of this huddle for the Mountaineers. They chug to the line. Turgeon will go under center. Split backs behind him are Russell and Boltrazik. And under center goes Turgeon. Turgeon the snap, give it to Russell, plows forward, gets it up to the 23-yard line, and it's a Mountaineer first down.
Clock continues to run.
No doubt.
And right up the middle, no surprise.
Not that you had to have a, crystal ball to see that one coming.
Definitely did not need any special powers there, but they found that hole again, and the Blue Devils have struggled. And we talked about it with Coach Palazzi on the TV edition of the Coach's Corner this week, is that defense right in between the tackles. They've struggled to hold them inside. You could even come inside and say between the guards. In that A gap itself, they just seem to be struggling defensively. Here's the snap, and it's a sweep pitch to the outside left for Boltrazik, shooting off the edge. Travis Storm, the safety, gets in the backfield and makes the tackle, a loss of 5, and the defense needed that one.
Now, Todd and Billy, you mentioned that they were having, the Leominster defense having difficulty right up that A gap on the exterior edges. They've been masterful containing those edges, so I don't really know why Billy says that keeping them honest on the edges.
Why would you sweep?
Why would you do that? You're having so much success, just ram it down their throat.
And you're just giving the defensive ends and cornerbacks chance to make those kinds of plays. Nice play by Travis Storm.
2nd and 15, and the snap, second man through, bouncing it to the outside. It's Boltrazik this time. He has to cut back for the middle as he reaches back toward the original line at the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him down shy of that. Now they'll give it to him, so it'll be third down and 10 to go. They need to achieve the Blue Devil 15-yard line for a first down.
Good job by Dandini in there. First time we've actually called his number here in the second half. Playing injured, but toughing it out there, making a tackle, the dancing running back.
He is one tough cookie out there.
Clock continues to wind down to 7:15 to play in the fourth. Leominster nursing a 7-6 lead. Needing a defensive stop. Third down in the snap. They put it in the hands of the fullback, Russell. He runs into a block, bounces off it to the left side. On his back immediately was Connor Skinner. I also saw Antonio Centrafante in on the play as well. They move it past the original line, across the 25 to the 23-yard line. So fourth down and 9, they need to advance the ball.
Huge fourth down. Fourth down and long. This is, I really do think this is it right here.
Connor Skinner comes out of that pile hobbled now, too. A lot of leg and lower body injuries here.
Back-to-back
Blue Devils.
hard-nosed games for the Blue Devils. Last week
Back-to-back.
against St. Peter Marion, And then this one tonight against
field goal
Wachusett.
coming
And
up.
they're going to say, Peter Baird,
40.
go take the lead for this football game. On 4th down and 9,
Huge play.
Baird marks off the distance. Hard count. Blue Devils jump. This is a free play. It is blocked at the moment, and Baird will fall on top of it. But guess what?
That's not
5-yard penalty coming up. It'll be 4th down and 5. And
Ugh.
we see the frustration on the special teams coach's face. Coach Palazzi is frustrated as well. And unfortunately, they're going to be a 5-yard penalty and a re-kick opportunity here as the offsides is called against the Blue Devils.
Completely unnecessary by the Blue Devils special teams there. 40-yard. I mean, just let them kick it.
You get so
You know,
excited
just
though.
let them kick it.
I would be excited. You want to be able to block it. You know how, what a big deal it is. Now we have about 4th and 5 coming up. I doubt that they're going to kick again, but
Wonder if they're
get
gonna-
so excited.
They've marked the tee down. The tee is down at the 25-yard line. The snap will come from the 18.
Yeah.
Looks like
Still about
4th and 4.
Yeah, 4.5, 5 yards to go.
They need to advance the ball across the 15 to the 14-yard line for a first. They send Peter Baird out again to potentially take the lead.
Block it.
Baird marks off the distance. Hard count again. Clean play. Snap. The kick is up. End over end it rolls. And no good. Wide to the left.
Wow.
I thought
Had the
that
distance.
was in between.
Yeah,
Had the
he had the
distance.
distance for sure, but that one will fall no good.
Blue Devils very close to jumping offside there again on that hard count. Lucky that they didn't get called.
6:07 to play in the 4th. 7-6 is Leominster's lead, and just missed it wide to the left did Peter Baird. And so now the Mountaineers need a defensive stop, and the Blue Devils could use some points.
Minus yards on that first drive, Kate. So
Yeah.
minus yardage here in the second half overall
Minus
for the Blue
10
Devils.
overall for the Blue Devils so far in this half.
The best defense has been the Mountaineer offense in this second half of action. Here's Gray, the snap, gives it to Colina. Wide to the left side, he comes in the formation and charges forward across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
I think we're going to see the running game come to the forefront here. Got to chew the clock, keep the clock moving at all costs right now.
And ideally, some kind of points at the end of this drive will certainly help increase your confidence and give your defense a little bit of something to work with. 2nd down and 4, the ball at the 26-yard line.
This will give you an indication of what Wachusett's been doing. A 4-minute drive, that last one, 17 yards. 4
Unbelievable.
minutes to go 17 yards.
I backfield behind Gray, Dandini the down man, and Travis Storm dots, no, Colina dots. Gray back to pass, and he's hit immediately and taken down in the backfield. Anthony Bohonic untouched through the center of the offensive line, and on the back, just like that 19 of Noah Gray, and down he goes.
Noah fortunate to hold on to the ball there, just going into his passing setup and in the arms of the defensive player from the Mountaineers.
Back to the Blue Devil 23-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and about 8. They need to advance the ball to the Blue Devil 30 for a first down.
They really need a swing in momentum here. They need a big play. They need a conversion is what they need.
4:40 to play in the 4th. Leominster's lead is 7-6. Split backs in the backfield in a shotgun formation for Gray, and whistles kill this play at the snap, and Coach Palazzi wants a 30-second timeout, stopping the clock with 4:35 to play in the 4th, and the Blue Devils facing a 3rd down and 8. Opportunity to remind you, Leominster High School football on the K-Zone is brought to you by Leominster Credit Union. Make your plans happen at LCU. It starts with membership. Check them out on the web at leominstercu.com. At Leominster Credit Union, you're somebody.
You're somebody, Todd.
I am indeed, as you are when you're a member at LCU. And of course, Leominster High School football on the K-Zone is also brought to you by Fiends Country Living. Longer winters, ice storms, power outages, and weather-related problems are more common than ever. New Englanders rely on alternative energies in Fiends Country Living at 955 South Street, Fitchburg. They've got your alternative energy. Fiends Country Living, 955 South Street, Fitchburg, online at fiends.com. 3rd down and 8. And back to pass, it's Gray, and he looks left and throws a strike, complete on the left sideline, across the 35-yard line and out of bounds at the 37 to gain of 16 and a Blue Devil first down.
I think referee signaled them inbounds, so I think a good job there by Kyle Jackson. We'll have to see if they wind the clock in. They do. Great job by Kyle Jackson staying inbounds there to keep the clock moving and getting the first down.
Without question. Nice pickup, Bill Thomas on the near side, stayed in off the white. Right to left continues the Blue Devils march here in quarter number 4, or left to right for those of you joining us on Leominster TV. It's an I backfield. Skinner switches to the left side of the formation. Dandini with Colina dotting and a pair of Jacksons on the high right side. Option to the outside. It's a speed option. Gray thought about passing, thought about optioning it out. Goes backwards to go forward. Gains a couple, plowing into the Mountaineer sideline. Across the 40 and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And Coach Palazzi's shaking his head. He likes the pickup, but you cannot go out of bounds on that play.
Yeah, not a smart play at the end there. Good job by Noah Gray to avoid the rush and continue to keep the play moving. But you got to turn that upfield, and you got to eat the ball.
Tonight looking a little bit frazzled does Noah Gray, especially in a close game. This is the first really close game where the clock has really come into play, and he hasn't been able to do much until right now. So looking a little bit frazzled, but I mean, this is a great opportunity to have in the regular season, because come later in the season, if this happens, he'll have a learning experience under his belt.
2nd down and 8, I backfield. 10 seconds on the play clock. Gray calling signals. Para Jackson's on the open left side. Dandini with Colina dotting. 3-step set, throw high. Complete in the hands of Kyle Jackson at midfield. Battles his way forward against a host of Mountaineers. The pass was high. Jackson corralled it. It's a gain of 13, and he's at the Mountaineer 48-yard line. Clock continues to tick once they reset the sticks.
And Ryan McCarthy, a fingertip away from grabbing that on the run, and nothing but green and 6. He gets his fingers on that, but you just got to give Noah Gray credit, and Kyle Jackson there, good pitch and catch, keep the clock moving and move the chains.
That clock has begun to run again. 1st down and 10 at the Mountaineer 47. Right to left go the Blue Devils. 3:25 to play in the 4th. 7-6 Leominster's lead, and they're on the march. Out of that eye again, and the handoff to Dandini, and right up the middle of the defense he goes, across the 45 and down at the 41-yard line.
That's Dandini's first carry since his 1-yard touchdown in the 2nd quarter. So good to see him back, being able to get some yardage, and even more importantly, chop some clock off the time off the clock.
Yeah, I think even if
under 3 minutes. Go ahead, Bill.
And even if he's not 100% effective, I think Coach Palazzi did the right thing, keeping him out on the field, keeping him loose, just for when he needed him during this important time.
I backfield. Dandini with Colina dotting. Para Jackson's on the high right side. Dandini gets it in his back pocket again, and he carries it off the right side this time, across the 40 and up to the 38-yard line. Gain of 4, and he'll be about a yard shy. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and about a yard to go.
Reminiscent of what we saw in that touchdown drive off the right side behind Cudahy, and I'm not sure who else is out there. It's, I believe, Jordan Clark, and doing a good job gaining positive yardage on that side.
Right now, the Blue Devils have taken about 4 minutes off the clock on this drive that started with 6:05 to go in the 4th quarter.
Dandini with Colina dotting, I backfield. The snap, Dandini again. Forward he goes. Piling on are the Mountaineers defense, but it's too late. He's across the 37-yard line, around the 36, and it's a 1st down.
That might have been the biggest 1st down of the game right now. Just steady as she goes right now.
Mike Dubzinski is off the far sideline, and
I don't know why they're not moving the chains here, kind of standing around.
Because the Mountaineer sideline is in the way. They're in the midst of trying to get a timeout, and they will reset the sticks. 2:04 to play here in the 4th quarter. 7-6 is Leominster's lead, and wow, just a moment to catch our breath and remind you that Leominster High School football on the K-Zone is brought to you by Bolton Orchards. Bolton Orchards is your one-stop shop for all things fresh and delicious. Their staff is working hard to deliver you the freshest produce from their fields daily. Succulent, locally grown peaches, corn, apples, and tomatoes, picked daily and ready to be eaten. Stop by and see what you've been missing. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get fresh every day with Bolton Orchards at the junctions of Route 110 and 117 in Bolton.
Coming down to crunch time, Todd, I just used some of our press box influence here. The Mountaineers have 2 timeouts left.
Two timeouts to go. Good to
I know who you asked that one from.
Travis Storm hobbling over to the near side, but that shows you the teamwork in the family. He's hobbled over here on the near side. He grabbed the water and ran it out to his teammates to help him out. That's a family environment right there.
9th play of the drive coming up right now for the Blue Devils.
That's what you got to love about Blue Devil football. I backfield behind Gray. Dandini the down man and Colina dotting. Jacksons are split on either side of the formation. The snap, and Colina finds some room on the right side. Cross the 30 and dragged down at the 26-yard line, and it's another Blue Devil first down on a gain of 15.
Great job by Angel Colina there. And, you know, the Mountaineers are kind of ball tackling, looking for that fumble. And Colina doing a good job wrapping that ball up with both hands and just running through those arm tackles.
And now Dubzinski will take yet another timeout. Coach Dubzinski says we got to stop the clock once again. 1:56 to play here in the fourth. Trying to maintain as much time now on the clock as he can, because that is his ultimate enemy. Blue Devils here, whether they score or not, could run out this game on this drive.
Well, that's it. And I think they're one first down away from, you know, nice job there by Angel Colina to pick up 15, but I think I might have rather seen him gain 9. And maybe burn up a down and another 30 seconds or a timeout there. But we'll take the first down as the game plays out.
Leominster High School football on the K-Zone brought to you by Woodcomb Insurance, and you can call them at 978-840-8700 or find Woodcomb Insurance on the web at woodcomb.com. Leominster High School football on the K-Zone also brought to you by Troy Hebert Construction. For a quarter century, a name you can trust for new construction, renovation, and repairs. Call 508-328-7484 or visit Troy Hebert on the web at troyhebertconstruction.com. First down and 10, and the defense packed in tight. Here's the snap, and out of the eye. Colina gets it, cuts back into a hole, going left to right, cross the 15 and down to the 10-yard line, continuing to battle for yards. Players falling off the pack. Little Angel Colina on the charge across the 10-yard line, gains 16, and it'll be first down and goal for the Blue Devils. First and goal for Leominster at the Mountaineer 8-yard line.
You know, Todd, something was just pointed out to me by one of our press box visitors. Do you let them score at this point to get the ball back and try to score and go for 2 to maybe create a tie ball game here? Could be some strategy playing out here. We'll have to see how this next play or 2 works out.
Knowing Coach Dubzinski the way I do, I don't know that he surrenders any points, but I'm curious to see what he does with the clock management here. Here it is on first down and goal. Out of an eye again. The snap, and Colina gets it. Swarmed by the defense again, and here comes Coach Dubzinski right in the back pocket of referee Bill Goslin, and he says timeout to stop the clock with 1:12 to play here in the fourth quarter. Leominster driving, nursing a 1-point lead at 7-6, and that is the last timeout the Mountaineers have.
You know, Colina fighting for every yard there, and you know, sometimes that works to your detriment when you're fighting for those extra yards. That's when you get the ball grabbed out, but good job by Colina holding on to that ball with both arms.
Busy post game coming up here, and of course we are your lead-in tonight to Red Sox baseball coming up here on the K-Zone as well. So stay with us for Red Sox baseball following our broadcast of Leominster High School football tonight.
Red Sox closing out their season, final series. Were they in Cleveland?
I believe they are.
Cleveland
I thought you were
for
going
the
to say
final 3?
finally, Billy.
Finally closing out this year. I thought they've been playing good the last month when nothing mattered. You know, it doesn't
6 in a
count.
row.
Where were these kids back in April and May? You know?
One can only wonder. And here comes Coach
He's going
Dubzinski.
to put a helmet on.
He's checking his eligibility. He may have some years left. Out into the huddle he comes, and no sideline warning, no flags there. I'm pretty sure Coach Dubzinski, Coach Palazzi has been flagged for exactly that.
Running out
onto the field, regardless of whether there is a play or not.
I think we can go for 2 kneel downs here and run out the clock. We're going to have to see how this clock management plays out here.
Yeah, we'll see. They're in a victory formation here. Gray is under center, and he snapped, and he kneeled down the ball. And Coach
Palazzi,
Palazzi, that is the angriest I have ever seen a head coach.
I think he needed to wait a couple of seconds before he downed it. Now, Coach not too happy. I think they needed a few extra seconds. You can see Coach telling him he needed to back up, take a couple seconds off the clock before you go down because the time doesn't match up.
That's correct. And so depending on when they respot the ball, which they already have, it is now third and goal from the 8-yard line.
This knee will take forever for him to go down,
I don't think there's any question. I would just take off running backwards. It really doesn't matter.
Just run.
Time. We're under 40 seconds to play. Only one more snap should be needed here. And Coach Palazzi says, okay now, and they're going to take the delay of game penalty.
They wanted the full 40.
But Coach Palazzi said he wanted the timeout. So he's going to take the timeout with 31 seconds to play here.
And it's going to be a learning experience. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And Coach Palazzi says enough is enough with this back judge and his delay of game clock. Still screaming past the sideline official, now screaming at the back judge.
Hey, we have a Red Sox update from Master Control. 6-2 in the 5th inning. Cleveland is up.
So they're going to throw a couple of extra seconds back on the clock during this time.
Coach
as well.
Palazzi's still chewing on the official now. The white hat, Bill Goslin, comes in and says,
Get him a new watch.
It's time to move back.
Get him a new watch.
Leominster TV's got a great view. Holy moly.
And I
You go
believe-
talk to him. You go tell him.
And you know what? I'm fairly
Go tell
confident
him.
that is what Coach Palazzi's telling him, because Coach Dubzinski was in the huddle and they're screaming at Coach Palazzi for being too far out on the field.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
in the huddle.
This
mean,
is the
it's
longest
unbelievable.
minute.
I love it.
This whole sideline thing's
Now
become a
notice
fiasco anyway.
the
I've
back
gotta tell
judge
you.
is like, I want nothing.
Oh yeah, well
to
the good
do
news
with
is for the back
he
judge,
hasn't moved.
if he goes straight up the Morton Street exit, he can be out of here
Yeah,
before
get to
anybody
his
notices
car.
that he's here. That's the good
He's
news.
got to run the length of the field.
Oh,
He's got to
God.
run the gauntlet to get out
Coach
of here.
is wild right now. Absolutely wild.
Should be the last kneel down of the ball game. Victory formation in gray under center. Wachusett, no timeouts. The snap
Ooh,
and the
boy.
kneel down.
They come in
And
hard, too.
they did indeed. There's pushing, there's shoving, and remember, these two teams are close. They could see each other again potentially, depending on how these playoffs go. Coach Palazzi tells his team he wants nothing but good sports, screams, go to the 50-yard line. We're done. We're not snapping it again, he says. Come over to the near side. We don't need to snap the football again
Get off the field.
before this gets out of hand.
Mountaineers are standing there, but
Whew.
they know.
Oh, Coach
the obvious.
Dubzinski now running up into the huddle again to talk to the white hat again. Not happy. Not happy at all.
Well, when both sidelines are unhappy, maybe that's a good thing.
Then the officials did their job.
They did their
They
job.
did their job, and
Exactly.
this game is over. Triple zeros are on the board. Leominster a winner tonight by a much closer margin than you might expect. 7-6, Leominster the victory tonight. Continue their 4-0 start to this 2015 season. The Mountaineers fall back in the pack. Their record drops to 2-2. Not the game I thought we'd see, Bill Thomas. The weather clearly may have been a factor, and this one finishes a lot closer than we would have expected.
Well, I'm going to give the Mountaineers a lot of credit. They definitely came out with that ball control, especially in the second half. But they made a game out of it, running off tackle and chewing up the yards, and then springing that surprise play on that sweep. But they did a good job. They did what they do best, and they hung tough with the Blue Devils.
And special teams gets the play of the day with a blocked extra point to solidify this one and be the difference in the football game. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, we say thank you so very much. Executive producer Jack Selly, Bradley Bedard, our award-winning executive producer. Great to have him back over there as well. Jeff Sylvia, Carl Pemerini, our executive director. We thank them so very much for being here with us tonight. 7-6, Leominster a winner tonight over on Leominster TV. Thank you all for joining us there. Continuing along with us, though, tonight on the K-Zone, we got a whole lot more for you coming up. Post-game show coming up here from Doyle Field, and then we'll get you off to Red Sox baseball. We're going to relive it all. We're going to get you the final scores from around the region as well, and a lot of great games going on out there as well. We'll see how they wrapped up. Kate's got a final look at the stats, and Bennett Carroll has an update on sports from around the world of sports from our studios, and a whole lot more here from Doyle Field. Leominster a 7-6 winner tonight, and more to come. You're listening to Leominster High School football on the K-Zone, WPKZ.
Wow, those are some fantastic memories preserved in the archive of Leominster TV. Whether celebrating the thrill of victory or capturing the agony of defeat, all of us at Leominster TV have endeavored to embody this recent quote from NBC broadcasting legend Bob Costas, who said in his 2018 induction speech at the National Baseball Hall of Fame, quote, "While the game is the thing and the players are the stars, how those games are perceived and remembered is often shaped by those who chronicle them." That quote from Bob Costas sums up our mission over the last 19 years and will continue to chart our course long into the future. The awesome responsibility of chronicling Leominster athletics is a tremendous honor that all of us at Leominster TV are proud to be a part of. Thank you so much for joining us on this celebration, 20 games for 20 years. I'm Todd Robbins. On behalf of my producer, Kate Robbins, archivist Jack Selly, editor Bradley Bedard, and all of us in the Leominster TV family, until next time, so long, everybody.
Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see trouble. Man, 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 I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy. Oh, nothing to get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy. Please get busy. Man, 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 I'm not gonna get home. trouble. I'm in trouble.